Happy Tuesday, everybody. Another Let's Connect live Facebook panel here. Always love doing these. If you haven't hopped on one of these before, we like to focus on topics surrounding parenting, family, mental health, and we try and hold these every Tuesday and cover a variety of topics. Working from home today, I have my 2-year-old with me. He's home sick, so he may pop in here every once in a while, but hey, that's the joys of a working mom, right? So thankful to have Chris McKenna join us for this conversation from Protect Young Eyes. Thanks for being here, Chris.
Yeah, Deanna. I think my kids invented, video bombing. So
Yes.
this is just the way that it is. And I'm so glad to be with you today with a really important topic, right, for all of us.
Yes, absolutely. So first, for people that may not be aware, kind of give just a short description of what Protect Young Eyes is and your mission.
Yeah, for sure. So Protect Young Eyes is a local organization, even though we have national reach. So I'm based down here in Caledonia, and we do presentations for schools and churches all over the country. The statement that we use, Deanna, is we want to help families, schools, and churches create safer digital spaces. And we do that through a website that's constantly updated. I know that you follow what we do through our newsletter, which we send out for free, very active on social media, even though I have pretty strong thoughts and opinions about social media's role in our life. I also want to use it as a way to share helpful information with as many families as possible all over the world. And so we want to stand in that gap, Deanna, between awesome families just like yours, just like others who maybe are listening right now. Stand in that gap between you, your children, and big tech and big technologies that honestly don't care for the safety and protection of our children. And so we want to be that education, that leveling up. I think that no matter how maybe little you know about technology, I think that all of us have digital superpowers, and we just need a little bit of a nudge, a little bit of a help, a little bit of a compass in this direction to point us there. And so we want to help parents find those digital parenting superpowers. So
Absolutely. I love that. And kind of going off of that, I want to talk about this really interesting perspective that you have when it comes to the mindset that we need to have as we talk to our kids and start to have these conversations and empower ourselves. And that's to have empathy for them and realize the world that they're living in. So kind of put that into perspective for people. When you really think about it, I always say, I can't imagine if I was in middle school or high school right now and the pressure that these kids are under and, this digital age that they have to live in.
that's right. You said something really key there. As I talk to parents, this is a moment where I get them to laugh a little bit. I'll say, you know what, listen, if Snapchat existed when summer you were in high school, there's a percentage of you that would be in prison right now. So let's try to remember that.
Right.
And the kind of the irony there, Deanna, in what you said is when I talk, and I talk to thousands of parents every single year, and almost all of them say to me that they are so glad social media didn't exist when they were teens.
Right.
I mean, have you ever had that thought?
Yes, all
Right?
the time.
I know, I have too. But think of the irony in that. If that is true, then why are we giving it to them like
Right.
candy?
Good
Right?
point.
There's a dissonance there between what we sort of feel and what we're actually doing. Now, I'm empathetic of parents in that situation. Why? Because we often make that decision because there's pressure. You and I sort of off stage here, we're talking about some of those pressures of kids and other families who have given technologies. So there's almost a necessity in growing up. At least we've sort of bought into the idea that there's this necessity that we need technology for kids to be normal teenagers today. Now, I like to push back on that as much as possible, but this idea of empathy, like when we start sentences with our kids that go, well, when I was a kid, Deanna, it's just not apples to apples at all. We didn't have news that was constantly streaming and tragedy that constantly is what's most popular when it comes to news, or our popularity being quantified in terms of likes or followers all of the time right there in front of us, or this instant sort of feedback, be it positive or negative, around how many likes did my picture get, and pornography around every corner. I mean, it's childhood today is towing the line all of the time between awesome places and awful places.
Yeah.
And that's I think a stressful place for young people to be in. And so I just want us to not be surprised when kids make mistakes with Snapchat, an app that allows content to disappear. That should never surprise us.
Right.
When we understand their brains, the pressures, the features of those apps, I just want us to go, wow, I'm sorry that happened. And let's work through it and just approach them with this understanding and grace and care, because it is hard being them. And that's one of the things we say is, I know it's hard being a parent today. You feel it. You have young kids. I
Yeah.
feel it. I've got 4 that are up on the picture here behind me,
Yeah.
right? It's hard being a parent today, but if we're honest, it's even harder being a kid.
It's so true. And I
And so
think we
just
forget
remember,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
and I think we forget that a lot. And going off of what you said there too, um, big tech, I mean, they have a perfectly oiled machine and they know what they're doing and they're not thinking of the impact that it's having on our children today. So talk a little bit about some different ways that maybe you kind of mentioned it there, but they can approach this, and the idea that addiction is real, when it comes to social media, when it comes to TikTok and the way all of those things work. So
right.
maybe some things that parents need to know that they may not be aware of when it comes to some of those apps,
Sure.
and how they can be empowered to kind of take a little more control. Is control the right word? I mean, do we want to use that though?
Right? That is the word. When you look for software that helps us, what is it that you look for? You look for parental control. Now, I think that's a horrible label, right?
Right.
Think of yourself as a 14-year-old girl or me as a 14-year-old boy, and your parents come to you and say, you know what? I've got this great thing I want to do with you. I am going to implement parental controls.
Right.
There is no teenager that goes, that is an awesome
Right.
idea. Like,
Right.
it just sounds bad, because control just, I think it right away sets us up for an us versus them transaction
Mhm.
instead of a me with you. Like, we want our kids to succeed with technology. We're rooting for them. Honey, I want you to get this right. And those are the sort of caring control,
Okay.
not parental control perspectives. And so when it comes to these apps, we need to dive into them and understand, because as you use that terminology there, that it's a perfectly, oiled machine. It is like, when I see a kid who can't stop playing a video game, or can't stop scrolling through Instagram, or just spends hours scrolling through TikTok, like, to me, that is a perfectly predictable response. When you understand their brain and you understand the term that we use at Protect Young Eyes, these are lowercase g, godlike technologies that are studying them, that know them, that are brilliant at feeding you and feeding
Right.
me the most addictive blend of content. Their goal is so that we can't put it down. And so when kids can't put it down, we shouldn't be surprised by that. Instead, be curious about that. What is it that they're watching? There's nothing like a YouTube watch history or the TikTok feed, because TikTok customizes its feed for you and it customizes it for me. And you can learn a lot about a person based on what TikTok's algorithm has
Oh, wow.
determined they're engaging with. It's almost like getting behind the scenes in your son's or daughter's questions, insecurities, curiosities, by leveraging the algorithm to tell you what it is that they're watching. Now, I'm not a fan of spying on your kids. I don't think spying teaches kids much at all. It
Right.
kind of turns them all into a bunch of little digital ninjas, right?
Yeah. Then
Because
they try and trick you even more.
that's
Right.
right. Oh, here, I'll get a burner phone instead. They got
Right.
it, right? So, but just ask curious questions, shoulder to shoulder opportunities, little drips, car time, meal time, bedtime, little bits at a time. And I think we have an opportunity to learn a lot about our young people when we understand why they tap and watch the things that they do.
Yeah. I think that is so key too. Again, I'm not there yet with my kids, but what I hear and read a lot is that these apps and stuff, I mean, there's always something new, right? Like for us, I mean, we're still super into Facebook, but it seems like there's always a new app, especially for those younger generations. So keeping up on how those work and understanding them, I mean, is that a big part of it for parents?
It is, but let's be honest, that can feel like a really heavy burden,
Right,
right?
exactly.
You feel like a horrible parent if you don't
Because you
know the
don't get
latest
it.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I and that's honestly, part of the reason why we exist. I want to bear that burden
Okay.
to protect young eyes for parents, right?
Right.
So anybody watching this, you can go to our website or you can text to join our newsletter. Just text the word protect to the number 66866, and we do the research, right? And
Great.
we present it in our newsletter, we present it in our social media feed, so then you can take, or any family can
Right.
take their knowledge of their kiddos, put it up against the research we've done and figure out which things apply, right?
Right.
What are the places that do I need to read this article from the Wall Street Journal on their deep dive into TikTok? Yeah, I probably should, because my 17-year-old can't put it down, right?
Okay.
It's those sort of things. So we want to gather what's important. I see the news that's out there about technology and the things that are changing. It's like a room full of confetti, right? A
Mhm.
million different pieces. And what we do is we go into that room and we pull out the pieces that are pertinent for families. We put it in a handful called our newsletter. And we say, okay, families, now you pick out the pieces from this handful that are most pertinent to you so that families don't feel that pressure of how do I keep up? That's one way. And maybe it's not us, there's other organizations
Right.
out there that do it. But find that trustworthy organization that can bear that burden for you so that you can apply that to your kiddos.
All right, I love that. Okay, so let's talk a little bit too about this idea of, trying to delay as long as possible, right? You hear parents say, well, you're not going to get a phone until you're this age, or even with my 6-year-olds, well, how come my friends get to carry their iPad around all the time and I don't? So how do you approach this idea of delay? What advice do you have when trying to navigate that part of it?
Yeah, that's hard. So it's easy to believe as parents that if we don't give our kids technology at certain time, they're going to fall behind,
Right.
right? We maybe even take it all the way to, well, they're not going to get into a good college or get a good job. And I just think a lot of that is more fear than it is reality, right? We don't allow kids to drive until age 16 and they all figure it out, right? And so it is important that kids understand technology, but I am a big fan of delaying internet that's portable and smart devices slash social media as long as possible.
Okay.
And that's because developmentally, I just don't think children who aren't at least in high school need portable internet.
Right.
Deanna, this is a supercomputer.
Mhm.
The power that an iPhone or an Android device has is mind blowing. And I just don't think 12, 13, and 14-year-olds in the middle of the drama of middle school, which you and I know has enough drama all by
Yep.
itself, that they don't need help from algorithms and comparison and targeted marketing and all of these dangers that exist for our young people. And so we point to other devices, whether it's Gab or Pinwheel is one that's out there. We are big fans of what Gab has, which is an iPhone like non-internet, non-gaming,
Okay.
non-social media, but talk, text, GPS, all the stuff I want, right?
Okay.
With none of the baggage that I don't. And so those are just tools that years ago didn't exist. When we started in 2015, none of these devices existed, but now they do, so that we have alternatives so that we can train our kids and delay as long as possible, but also have the ability to get in touch with them when we want to. And that's really important. So one thing I didn't touch on there though is the pressure, right? There's a
Right.
pressure that you feel. And I'm empathetic to that, especially during COVID, the season we've come out of, when we were more
Right.
locked down. And so maybe the primary way of interacting with friends or family was through a screen. And so that's where I respect where families are at. I just want them to know the risks. If you're going to give your middle school age son or daughter access to a social media platform, then be involved. Make sure there are guidelines around it. Make sure that you have enough insight to know if your son or daughter happens to be one that is impacted by what social media offers them, which has been made all too public based on some of the whistleblower information that's been, shown to us about what Facebook knows in what its app does
Right.
to some young people, not all, but some young people. And so if you're going to make some of those choices early on, just understand that there are trade-offs there. And I want parents to be aware of those trade-offs. I want them to be involved enough to recognize when those risks present themselves so that they can intervene before the technology does their son or daughter harm.
Yeah. What would you say? I mean, you obviously talk to, like you said, thousands of parents and families. What is one of the biggest concerns that you think that you hear, most often?
So, I mean, obviously, pornography bubbles up. You can't talk about technology today without having a parent be concerned about explicit content that
Hmm.
their son or daughter runs into. And that looks different depending on the age and stage of your kids, right? For younger children, right? The biggest risk is there's two of them actually. It's accidental through a device that's not protected in the home, or it's through a friend who had a device that you weren't aware of. As they get older, I think as parents, this is where the generational differences often show themselves, is we often think of pornography as this far off thing in another place in some 2D form. But all the places we're putting our children into, like Instagram and like TikTok, they have pornography. And so if you're going to give your child a smartphone, I think we automatically have to make sure our children know what to do when they see pornography. Every smartphone, I mean, to be honest, Deanna, I call them little boxes of porn. That's what they have. That's what they are. And so it's that idea of preparation long before they see it, because what we do in our brains is we want to approximate the porn talk with when we think they're going to see it.
Hmm.
And I would argue that that talk needs to have happened 2 to 3 years
Hmm.
before they see it, because that is like a lot of things when it comes to online interactions. It fires up a massively powerful neurological response. And so if we think our one-time little porn talk is going to stop our kids from seeing and doing things online, we're mistaken, right? There's this powerful neurological reaction that we need to just make sure our kids are ready to handle. What do they do, right? When they see something, it doesn't even need to be totally explicit, but when they experience something that gives them that funny feeling, and kids know what that is. When I talk to elementary school kids, the statement I give them is if it feels weird, then it probably is.
Yeah.
And to give them that power and to know what to do when they get that feeling. Honey, here's 1, 2, or 3 things that I want you to do, and I'll never be upset when you come
Right.
to me, right? Wide open door, never a punishment, tell me anything sort of conversations.
Yeah, that it's some of those conversations are hard to have maybe as a parent, but like you said, when you think of what you're giving them and what they will have access to, it's more important to, you know, be proactive about that instead of reactive after. So it's kind of like a shift in mindset maybe, um,
Definitely.
as parents for some of this stuff. As we wrap up here, I guess, what's your final message that you want to leave with families or parents? Your final thoughts, if you will.
Yeah, thank you for that. That they can do this. Parents, guardians, grandparents, you can do this. You don't need to be a tech expert. We I think often underestimate the power of our relational impact here. In fact, I love when grandparents speak into these places to look at grandkids and say, you know what? I don't have this ticky-tock thing like you do, but when you're here at my house, I would love it if you did things online that you could show me, right? I want to be involved. I want you to know that I'm here and with you. And for parents to have those kinds of proactive, very intentional, honest conversations about technology with their kids, modeling, right? Modeling the way that we want our young people to use technology. We cannot expect them to love a filter if it's not good for us too. We can't expect them to love the idea of using technology in public places outside of their bedrooms if we're not willing to do the same things. And so let's show them how, not only with the things that we say, but the things that we do, because that is the most powerful influence across all the studies out there, Deanna, whether international studies or pediatric societies here. The number one influence on how young people use technology is how they observe adults in their life using technology. And
Right.
so let's model that for them. And I think if we're honest, we all probably have ways in which we could be a little bit better
Yep.
there. And so let's start today.
Absolutely. I know I am. Right. It's easier to point the finger at your kids and everyone else than to think of how you're using it, how often you're on it as well. Well, I appreciate this so much. Such a good conversation that I think really will resonate with a lot of people. You also just over, the past couple months here during the pandemic, you guys have an app. And like you said, constantly so many different resources. So check out their website right there, protectyoungeyes.com. Chris, thank you for the work you do, and always appreciate your insight.
Thank you, Deanna. It's been fun.
Yeah. Have a good one, guys. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.